Because they're probably all
okay.
watching this, so it's not true really, but it's quite fun watching people's reactions.
So if you're in a crowd, you need to be aware that you're all watching to see what the reaction is.
The people in the cars behind have a great time.
Buckingham Palace is at the center of intrigue following a major decision that has taken the royal world by surprise. Prince William has made a bold move by approving a title change for Duchess Sophie's children, an action that signals a shift within the monarchy. This unexpected decision has left royal watchers stunned and eager to understand its broader implications. Insiders suggest that this step reflects Prince William's vision for a modernized monarchy while still paying homage to tradition.
Prince William is reflecting on the coronation of his father, King Charles, by looking ahead. Aides confirmed to People that the Prince of Wales.
For years, the monarchy has carefully balanced tradition with the demands of the modern world. However, as King Charles III faces health challenges and the royal family navigates a changing public perception,
We've received breaking news from Buckingham Palace, which has announced that the King has been diagnosed with cancer.
Prince William has stepped forward with a decisive action. This latest development directly affects two relatively private royal figures, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex. Unlike their cousins, who were born into the public eye, Louise and James were raised with an emphasis on privacy and personal development. Their parents, Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh, and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, deliberately chose not to bestow upon them the titles of His or Her Royal Highness from birth, allowing them a more normal upbringing. However, that period of discretion now appears to be over. Buckingham Palace recently released a statement confirming that Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex, will be recognized as integral members of the royal family.
For Prince Edward to be granted the dukedom after his death, Buckingham Palace announced the new Duke of Edinburgh this week on Prince Edward's.
With the approval of His Majesty the King, Prince William has formally recommended their increased involvement in royal duties. Though brief, this statement carries significant weight, marking a potential shift in the structure of the monarchy. For years, it was widely believed that King Charles III was committed to a slimmed-down monarchy, focusing on a smaller core of working royals. The assumption was that primary responsibilities would fall upon the King, the Prince of Wales, and Prince George in the future. Now, however, the tides appear to be shifting. Prince William's decision suggests a need for more active royal participation, especially as senior royals age and the royal workload increases. The departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from royal duties, combined with King Charles's reduced public engagements, has left noticeable gaps. By bringing Lady Louise and James into the fold, Prince William ensures that the monarchy remains stable and capable of meeting its obligations. This decision is not without controversy. While some royal experts see it as a practical and necessary move to reinforce the institution, others speculate that it may be the beginning of broader changes in how royal titles are granted or even revoked. As discussions continue and speculation swirls, one thing is clear: Buckingham Palace is embracing a new era under Prince William's guidance. A key element in this unfolding story is the historical significance of the Duke of Edinburgh title.
It had been the late Prince's wish for Prince Edward to be granted the dukedom after his death. Buckingham.
The legacy of Lady Louise and James cannot be fully understood without considering their father's prestigious title. The Duke of Edinburgh title is one of the most esteemed in the British royal family, deeply connected to the legacy of Prince Philip, who held it for over 7 decades before his passing in April 2021. By stepping into more visible roles, Louise and James are not only continuing their father's legacy, but also playing a part in shaping the future of the British monarchy. As Buckingham Palace moves forward with these changes, all eyes remain on how this decision will impact the royal family in the long run. What do you think about this surprising move by Prince William? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on royal news. The spotlight now turns toward James Alexander Philip Theo Mountbatten Windsor, more commonly known as James, Earl of Wessex. At just 16 years old, James is the youngest nephew of King Charles III and, as of 2024, stands 16 in line to the British throne. This is a stark contrast to his position at birth when he was 8th in line during the reign of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. Born on December 17, 2007, James's birth took place at Frimley Park Hospital, a location increasingly associated with royal births due to its accessibility for members of the family living at Bagshot Park. Unlike the highly publicized births of his cousins, James's arrival was kept relatively low profile, reflecting his parents' preference for a quieter upbringing. For much of his childhood, James's public appearances were minimal. He was educated at Eagle House School, a prestigious preparatory school in Berkshire, before moving on to Radley College, a renowned all-boys independent school in Oxfordshire. Despite being automatically entitled to a princely title under the 1917 letters patent, his parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, chose not to style him as Prince James, but instead gave him the courtesy title of Viscount Severn, a nod to Sophie's Welsh heritage. This decision aligned with their broader effort to raise their children outside the intense scrutiny that had historically plagued younger royals. When Prince Philip married then Princess Elizabeth in 1947, King George VI granted him the title of Duke of Edinburgh in honor of his Greek and Danish royal lineage. For over 70 years, Prince Philip used his title to advocate for youth development, education, and global environmental efforts. His most enduring legacy remains the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, a global program that has shaped the lives of millions of young people. Following Prince Philip's passing in 2021,
Britain is mourning the death of Prince Philip, husband to Queen Elizabeth. He died on Friday morning, aged 99.
the title was automatically inherited by his son, Charles, who was then the Prince of Wales. However, once Charles ascended the throne in September 2022, the title reverted to the crown, creating uncertainty about its future. Traditionally, it had been expected and even agreed upon that the title would eventually be passed down to Prince Edward, Philip's youngest son. In 1999, Buckingham Palace released a statement confirming that it was Philip's and Queen Elizabeth's wish for Edward to inherit the Dukedom of Edinburgh once it became available. However, King Charles hesitated for 6 months after assuming the throne. Reports suggested that he was reluctant to hand it over due to his vision of a slimmed-down monarchy, a plan that sought to keep only the most senior royals in the spotlight. After months of speculation, on March 10, 2023, King Charles III officially conferred the title upon Prince Edward.
Prince Edward has a new royal title, the Duke of Edinburgh. King Charles announced Friday that he conferred the title, which was created for his father, Prince Philip.
A decision that came as both a relief and a surprise to royal watchers. The official statement from Buckingham Palace read, "The King is pleased to confer the Dukedom of Edinburgh upon Prince Edward on the occasion of His Royal Highness's 59th birthday. This title will be held for His Royal Highness's lifetime." It was a moment of vindication for Prince Edward, who had spent decades supporting his father's charitable causes and assuming a quiet yet dedicated role within the royal family. But the decision came with a caveat, one that would shape the future of the Wessex children. Unlike other hereditary dukedoms, this title will not be passed down to James, despite him now holding the title of Earl of Wessex. Instead, once Prince Edward passes away, the Dukedom of Edinburgh will revert to the crown, potentially allowing it to be reallocated in the future. Royal experts believe that the most likely future recipient is Prince Louis, the youngest son of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. This strategic move ensures that the title remains closely aligned with the direct line of succession. As Buckingham Palace braces for a new era, this decision signals a deliberate shift in royal strategy. While the monarchy continues to evolve under King Charles III's leadership, the legacy of the Duke of Edinburgh remains at the heart of its future direction. Education has always been a priority for James, Earl of Wessex, with his parents ensuring he balances royal responsibilities with personal growth. Though he was raised away from the constant public eye, his presence within the monarchy has never been entirely absent. His first major public appearance came in 2016 when he participated in the carriage procession at Trooping the Colour. As he grew older, he attended several key events, including the 2022 Platinum Jubilee celebrations for Queen Elizabeth II and the coronation of King Charles III in 2023. One of the most significant moments in James's young life occurred in September 2022, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. At just 14 years old, he stood vigil around his grandmother's coffin at Westminster Hall, alongside his sister Lady Louise and his 6 royal cousins. This solemn tribute highlighted his strong sense of duty, despite his largely private upbringing. As James approaches adulthood, the question remains, will he take on a formal role within the royal family? His recent title shift to Earl of Wessex suggests a growing recognition of his place within the monarchy. Like his sister, he has the option to adopt the title of His Royal Highness when he turns 18 in December 2025. Insiders note that James's reserved nature closely mirrors that of his father, which may lead him to prefer a more private life rather than becoming a full-time working royal. However, with Prince William's strategic efforts to strengthen the younger generation's involvement in royal affairs, James's decision could be influenced by the monarchy's evolving needs. While James has been raised with quiet dignity, Lady Louise Windsor has often been considered a hidden gem within the royal family. With Prince William's recent decision to involve her more, many wonder whether this young royal is about to take on a greater role than ever before. Born prematurely on November 8, 2003, Lady Louise Alice Elizabeth Mary Mountbatten Windsor's entrance into the world was anything but ordinary. Her mother, Sophie, then Countess of Wessex, suffered a placental abruption, requiring an emergency cesarean section at Frimley Park Hospital. At the time, her father, Prince Edward, was on an official visit to Mauritius and rushed back upon hearing the news. Despite the difficult start, Lady Louise grew up with grace and composure, qualities that have made her a favorite among royal watchers. Unlike many of her cousins, she spent her formative years away from intense media attention. She attended St. George's School in Windsor before enrolling at St. Mary's School, Ascot, where she thrived academically. A particularly notable aspect of Louise's life has been her deep connection with Prince Philip. Among all his grandchildren, she was arguably the closest to him, sharing his passion for carriage driving. Prince Philip, who championed the sport throughout his life, passed down his driving ponies and carriage to her, a sentimental gesture that solidified their bond. Though she remained relatively low profile for years, her appearances at major royal events, including Trooping the Colour, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, demonstrated her poise and readiness to take on a more visible role in the future. With the monarchy undergoing strategic changes, both James and Louise now stand at a crossroads. Will they fully embrace public royal duties, or will they maintain a more private path? As Buckingham Palace prepares for a new era, all eyes remain on these young royals and the roles they may play in shaping the future of the British monarchy. Lady Louise Windsor's journey within the royal family has long been one of quiet grace and dedication, but recent developments suggest a shift in her role. Her participation in the 15-minute vigil alongside her brother James and their royal cousins during Queen Elizabeth II's lying in state was a defining moment, showcasing the younger generation's deep respect and devotion. This solemn tribute was not just a public display of mourning, but a testament to the evolving presence of younger royals within the monarchy. Beyond her royal engagements, Lady Louise has made headlines for forging her own path. In 2021, she became the first royal to take on a summer job, working at a garden center, an unprecedented move that won praise for its down-to-earth nature. Despite being a granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she embraced the value of earning her own way. Following this, she enrolled at the University of St. Andrews in September 2022, where she is currently studying English. A choice that mirrors Prince William's own university experience, adding an intriguing parallel to royal history. Perhaps her most unexpected decision came in 2024 when she joined the British Army's University Officers Training Corps, UOTC. This bold move demonstrated her willingness to embrace leadership and discipline, hinting at a possible future military role, an area traditionally reserved for senior working royals. With Prince William's decision to elevate her public role, speculation has grown over whether she might eventually receive a Duchess title in her own right. As a direct granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she is well positioned to take on expanded royal responsibilities, especially as the monarchy evolves to meet modern demands. Unlike her brother James, who will soon decide whether to adopt his Royal Highness status upon turning 18, Lady Louise already has the right to embrace or forgo her royal title. While her mother Sophie once suggested that Louise might decline, recent developments hint that she may choose otherwise. As the royal family adapts to changing times, her role could become even more significant. If we are discussing James and Louise, we cannot overlook their mother, Duchess Sophie. Since marrying Prince Edward in 1999, she has become a steadfast and respected member of the royal family. Often regarded as one of Queen Elizabeth II's closest confidants in her later years, Sophie maintained a strong personal and professional bond with the late monarch. She was frequently seen at Windsor Castle, joining the Queen for afternoon teas and long discussions about family, duty, and the monarchy's future. Her unwavering dedication to charitable causes, diplomatic engagements, and royal duties has made her a beloved figure within the royal fold. Unlike some of her contemporaries, Sophie has rarely made headlines for controversy, instead earning respect for her consistent and tireless work. However, one aspect of her journey within the royal family remains an intriguing historical footnote, one that could have changed her public identity forever. A little-known royal decision reveals that Prince Edward was originally set to become the Duke of Cambridge upon his marriage in 1999. The title, later given to Prince William and Princess Kate, is one of the most prestigious in the British aristocracy. However, in a surprising turn of events, Edward himself chose a different path, one influenced by an unexpected source. According to royal insiders, Edward had been watching the film Shakespeare in Love, which featured a character titled the Earl of Wessex. Fascinated by the name, he reportedly asked Queen Elizabeth II if he could take that title instead. In a rare moment of indulgence, the Queen granted his request, and thus Edward and Sophie became the Earl and Countess of Wessex rather than the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. This seemingly minor decision shaped their public standing within the royal hierarchy. But over time, Edward and Sophie carved out a meaningful and respected role for themselves within the monarchy. As the royal family transitions into a new era, the roles of James and Louise are poised to evolve. Whether they fully embrace royal duties or maintain a balance between public service and personal pursuits, their growing presence signals a modern approach to monarchy, one that values both tradition and adaptation. For over 70 years, Prince Philip carried the title of Duke of Edinburgh, a role he used to advocate for youth development, education, and environmental efforts. His most lasting legacy remains the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, a program that has positively impacted millions of young people worldwide. When he passed away in 2021, the title was automatically inherited by his son, Charles, then Prince of Wales. However, when Charles became king in September 2022, the title reverted to the crown, leading to uncertainty about its future. Traditionally, it had been expected, and even agreed upon, that Prince Edward, Philip's youngest son, would inherit the dukedom. In 1999, Buckingham Palace confirmed that it was the wish of both Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II for Edward to take on the title once it became available. On December 17, 2007, at Frimley Park Hospital, James is the youngest nephew of King Charles III. At birth, he was 8th in line to the throne, but as of 2024, he stands 16th. Despite his royal lineage, his upbringing was kept relatively low profile, a decision made by his parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Instead of styling him as Prince James, they opted for the courtesy title Viscount Severn, a nod to Sophie's Welsh heritage. His education has been a priority for his parents, ensuring he balances royal responsibilities with personal development. James attended Eagle House School before moving to Radley College, a prestigious all-boys school in Oxfordshire. Though raised away from public scrutiny, he has gradually stepped into royal duties, making appearances at major events such as Trooping the Colour, the Platinum Jubilee, and the coronation of King Charles III. One of his most significant moments came in September 2022, when he and his sister, Lady Louise Windsor, stood vigil alongside their royal cousins at Queen Elizabeth II's lying in state. James's sister, Lady Louise Windsor, has also garnered attention for her poised and graceful presence. Born on November 8, 2003, she arrived prematurely due to her mother's placental abruption, leading to an emergency C-section at Frimley Park Hospital. Her early years were kept private, and she attended St. George's School in Windsor before enrolling at St. Mary's School, Ascot. Among all her grandparents' descendants, she shared a particularly close bond with Prince Philip, as they both had a passion for carriage driving, a sport he championed. She even inherited his ponies and carriage after his passing. While Louise kept a low profile for much of her life, her participation in significant royal events, such as the 15-minute vigil at the Queen's lying in state, marked a turning point. She further surprised the public in 2022 by working at a garden center, becoming the first royal grandchild to take on a summer job. In 2022, she enrolled at the University of St. Andrews to study English, the same university where Prince William met Catherine, now the Princess of Wales. Her most unexpected move came in 2024 when she joined the British Army's University Officers Training Corps, indicating a potential future in military service. Speculation has grown over whether Louise might receive a Duchess title in her own right. Unlike James, who must decide whether to adopt an HRH title when he turns 18, she has already reached adulthood and could choose to take on an expanded royal role. Prince William's decision to bring her further into the fold suggests that she could play a greater role in the future monarchy. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, has also played a quiet yet crucial role within the royal family. Since marrying Prince Edward in 1999, she has been a steadfast and reliable figure, often described as one of Queen Elizabeth II's closest confidants. The late Queen frequently sought Sophie's counsel, enjoying long conversations over tea at Windsor Castle. Through years of dedication to charitable work, diplomatic engagements, and royal duties, Sophie has become one of the monarchy's most respected members. Interestingly, Prince Edward was initially meant to receive the title of Duke of Cambridge upon his marriage. However, in a surprising twist, he requested a different title after watching the film Shakespeare in Love. He found the name Earl of Wessex appealing and asked the Queen if he could take that title instead. She agreed, leading to Edward and Sophie becoming the Earl and Countess of Wessex instead of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. This choice shaped their trajectory within the royal family, keeping them in a more understated position compared to what they might have had. While these individual title changes have drawn attention, the broader shift within the monarchy extends to Queen Elizabeth II's legacy. Her passing in 2022 marked a significant turning point, not just in leadership, but in wealth distribution and the preservation of royal tradition. Unlike the Crown Estate, which is valued at approximately £16 billion and remains under the monarchy's control, the Queen's personal fortune, estimated between £370 million and £500 million,
also now oversees the late monarch's $42 billion portfolio of assets held in trust for the kingdom, including billions in investments and other opulent palaces,
was a separate matter. Her will remains sealed, a tradition among sovereigns dating back to 1911 to protect the privacy and stability of the monarchy. This secrecy means that details regarding the distribution of her private estates, jewelry, and personal possessions have not been disclosed. However, it is widely believed that King Charles III inherited Sandringham House and Balmoral Castle, both of which held deep sentimental value for the Queen. Sandringham was the final home of King George VI, while Balmoral was the Queen's favorite retreat, where she ultimately passed away. While King Charles III now controls these estates, discussions have emerged about Prince William potentially inheriting Sandringham in the future, aligning with his expanding role within the monarchy. This careful management of assets and titles ensures that the royal family continues to adapt while preserving its legacy for future generations. Balmoral continues to serve as a cherished retreat for the royal family, symbolizing their deep connection to Scotland. Among the most personal aspects of Queen Elizabeth II's wealth was her private jewelry collection. Unlike the crown jewels, which belonged to the state, her collection included over 300 pieces, tiaras, brooches, and necklaces, many of which held great historical significance. Reports suggest that the Queen strategically allocated key pieces. Queen Camilla, as the new Queen consort, inherited several items to uphold royal tradition. Meanwhile, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Princess Charlotte were rumored to have received heirlooms with sentimental value, ensuring the Queen's legacy remained within the direct line of succession. Despite stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Prince Harry remained one of the Queen's beloved grandsons. Due to the secrecy surrounding her will, speculation has arisen that she left him personal mementos such as letters, jewelry, or other sentimental items. The only confirmed inheritance that Harry and William shared was from their great-grandmother, the Queen Mother, who left behind a £14 million fortune split between the two brothers. However, with Harry's departure from royal life, he no longer received income from the Duchy of Cornwall, marking a clear financial separation from his royal past. Beyond material wealth, Queen Elizabeth II's most enduring gift to her family was her unwavering commitment to duty, resilience, and continuity. As King Charles III assumes the throne and Prince William prepares for his future role, the distribution of royal assets, whether estates, wealth, or jewelry, becomes less about individual gain and more about preserving the monarchy's stability. Every title passed down, state retained, and heirloom allocated has been carefully planned to maintain the institution's strength amid modern scrutiny. In an era where the relevance of monarchy is increasingly debated, decisions regarding inheritance, titles, and legacy will not only shape the royal family's future, but also influence public perception. Do royal titles still carry the same weight as they once did? Would you have made the same decisions as Prince William regarding Duchess Sophie's children? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more intriguing royal updates.